Okay, so we had a debate last time.
We had a debate.
It was a talk.
Okay.
If Nightmare Before Christmas was a Christmas or Halloween movie.
Yes.
Now we have another debate.
What's the debate?
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
We've talked about this before.
Yes,
My answer is no.
This is the definitive answer right now.
I say the answer is no.
I say the answer is yes. And well, I will give you one reason why.
Okay, please do.
Can the story of this movie still happen if Christmas was not involved?
I'd say yes.
Can you?
Yes.
Because the only reason John McClane is in Los Angeles at that building is because of a Christmas party. The only reason Hans Gruber is at that building because there is less security and easy to get into during Christmas time. I rest my case. They wouldn't go if it wasn't for Christmas. Done.
Is that the only time that the office has a party during the year?
No, but he specifically went because it was a Christmas party. Why would he go to any other party?
I mean, if it's a party and it's people gathered, then
and remember, he's there to see his wife, right? That was. Are they separated at this point? Not yet.
No, not yet.
No,
that happens in subsequent movies.
Yes,
but that's just an event. Like, it could have been Easter. It could have been July 4th. It could have been any holiday.
No. Who has Easter parties? Like a company?
No one I know has Easter parties.
And July 4th, they're closed.
What you're telling me is that this office party can only happen on Christmas. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying the party can only happen on Christmas, but the reason everything is happening is because of Christmas. You remove Christmas, there's no party, there's no less security. It goes away.
I don't know. I get what you're saying, and I've heard this argument before. I just don't know if it really holds any water. And I'm not saying that you can't say that it's a Christmas movie. I'm not saying that you can't watch this on Christmas.
It's 100% a Christmas movie.
Out of all of the collections that I've seen, I've never seen Die Hard listed as a Christmas movie.
What?
I've never seen it listed as a Christmas movie. I've seen it as an action movie. When was the movie released?
80. What was that? 80.
That was the year. What month?
Oh, that. You know what? Let's find out right now, live on the pre-show.
I promise you, it's not on Christmas.
By the way, we've never officially dubbed what this section is. I'm now dubbing it the pre-show.
Okay, great.
Die Hard, 1988.
The summer?
I am looking. It's probably the summer, honestly. I'm looking. Where are you? It's probably July. It's July.
I told you.
Yeah.
What did I freaking tell you? A movie that takes place during Christmas time doesn't necessarily make it a Christmas movie. You typically have to celebrate Christmas in a Christmas movie. So
they literally celebrate Christmas at the end.
No, not really. I would say
Go ahead.
I was going to say that Nightmare Before Christmas is widely debated as a Halloween movie. Not true. I think it's a hybrid. You can watch Nightmare Before Christmas on Halloween. You can watch The Nightmare Before Christmas on Christmas, and you will get both things. Because while it typically takes place during the holidays, the topic is celebrating Christmas and trying to understand Christmas and delivering Christmas presents to kids in their own very unique type of way.
Sure.
But Nightmare Before Christmas is, in my view, like a true Christmas movie.
Correct. That's fair. That one I can understand. Also, I just Googled Christmas or movies that are Christmas movies that came out in like July or the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can credit this. Well, actually, I could probably credit this site. Jurassic World came out in June of 2015. it technically is considered a Christmas movie, or it takes place during Christmas. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you forgot about it because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Batman Returns, June. Okay.
So,
boom,
okay,
Die
so
Hard
perfect.
and Die Hard 2.
Oh my god. Just stop. Just stop. Just leave it alone.
Gremlins?
Nah, well, see...
June 1984.
But that actually deals more on the Christmas...
Lady and the Tramp, June 1995.
Not a Christmas movie.
Miracle on 34th Street, June 4th. Let's go.
But this is actually dealing with actual Christmas. There's Santa Claus in it.
There's a Santa Claus in Die Hard.
It's a guy dressing up as Santa Claus.
Because it's Christmas.
It's not a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. And I'm declaring it now.
Greetings and welcome to our show, Fresh Geek Context. It is here we discuss insightful views on a routine bi-weekly basis over the incredibly nerdy things we can't stop talking about. To take you on this dorky ride are your host, Josh.
I'm drinking hot chocolate.
And myself, Jason. Why don't you take a seat, sit back, relax. We're here to do all the heavy lifting. It is about to get nerdy. This is episode 98, part 2.
You know, the build-up to 100 is antagonizing. I mean, this episode is called Movies Anywhere?
Literally anywhere. Movies anywhere. But not, the service movies anywhere.
No.
Another
that's
topic
separate.
for another time.
We actually already talked about that. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
But
it's a good thing, and it's also a weird thing.
Yeah, but this is a new thing.
This is a new thing. This should really be called Movies at Home. And we actually have a topic regarding the title. And some interesting news hailing from Warner Brothers. We will be talking about that. But before we jump in, how are you, Josh?
Hi, I'm here. I'm warm. I'm enjoying hot cocoa.
No. I mean, how are you? How are you?
Oh, that.
Yes,
that. I am here. I am well.
Existentially, yes. Good.
Existentially, yes. We've had a lot of... I was very... You know what? I will say, I was very concerned because I thought that we were going to go on a break like we did back in March, because I will say, I apologize to the audience. We have been taking a little bit longer in between episodes here and there.
To be fair,
it's because we just needed to recharge a little bit more. At least for me, I can't speak for you. I need to recharge a little bit more in between episodes.
Yeah, it's been challenging, right? We're currently in December of 2020. 2020 has been a very interesting year here on our planet Earth. We are still in the midst of a pandemic. This is going to be a time capsule of sorts.
I like how you say planet Earth, as in if somebody's listening on Mars, they're like, "Oh, we're good over here." Earth, though, man.
Hey, listen, you never know where our voices can potentially travel. We could actually just go to... Our voices could go to Mars. I don't know if we will go to Mars. Let's ask Elon Musk. Tweet him.
I don't know if I want to talk to him. He's scary.
Because he's a genius, is why.
Is he, though? I mean, yes, he is.
Yeah, I mean...
But he's still scary.
Geniuses usually are.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So... Yeah, if things are bizarre. We don't necessarily talk about every single little thing that happens in 2020 because we are an entertainment podcast and we like to give context for things.
Of the geeky variety.
Of the very geeky variety. And things are happening politically. Things are happening with vaccinations and health. And things are happening with mental health. We discussed this for a little bit in the previous episode, and with all the things that are happening, Josh and I are literally just people in the world. We have jobs, and while we do enjoy doing this, sometimes when the going gets tough, we just need to take a little bit of a break. So, But I do enjoy this. I do, because it does help me, I guess, reorient my creativity. It does allow me to think about this in a different way. It does allow me to kind of speak on this platform and still share news or discuss news that I really enjoyed still talking about.
Correct.
Sometimes you need an escape.
Sometimes you need to escape and talk about men in their pajamas punching each other.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. Absolutely.
And women. There sometimes there are women in there.
Sometimes
there's
children.
There's a lot of women in there, actually, now that I think about it. And children, correct.
And children. And
children
animals.
Just beating each other up. That's exactly what we're about here at FGC Podcasts.
Yes, absolutely. Orphans with parent issues and
all the things. God,
see, this is a mental health. Yeah, mental health episode. This is it. This is it, guys.
You know what? Batman is actually about the mental health of your brain and what it could do if you became an orphan.
Did you see that tweet? I think it was a news bit that DC announced that basically being Batman is a superpower.
Batman is just Batman. He's just everything. He is the knight, okay? He can do whatever he wants. He is the knight. He is Batman.
He is vengeance. He is Batman.
He is Robert Pattinson.
I can't wait to see more of that.
Dude, every single time I think of that trailer, I'm just like, this is going to be a good movie.
This is going to be a great movie.
It's going to be a great
Everyone knocked it. I was just like, I don't think you really need to.
Yeah.
I think you just need to be patient and just give it, let it do its thing.
Listen, I think it's going to be fantastic. And guess what, Jace?
Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman?
I mean, yes, that too. But had that movie come out in 2021, because I highly doubt it's going to, more than likely 2022.
Probably.
But do you know where it would end up if it came out in 2021?
You are the master of segues.
Listen, we got to keep the things rolling somehow.
Master of segues. Please continue.
They would end up on HBOMax because we got a massive drop from Warner Media this week. They are setting the entire 2021 slate to debut on HBO Max alongside cinemas, which is ridiculous. And to be fair, it's for a 1 month period. So essentially, for the first month the movie is out, it will be out in theaters as well as HBO Max. So you can choose to go to the theater to go watch it if it's playing near you. If not, you can watch it from the comfort of your home on HBO Max. That is insane.
That is insane.
And if this, all right, so first of all, let's talk about what movies are coming out in 2021 and which of these we were going to go see in theaters, okay?
Yep.
So right now we have Denzel Washington, and I'm reading this from Deadline, by the way.
Yep.
So we have Denzel Washington's The Little Things, Judas and the Black Messiah. So far, I don't know if I was going to watch those two, but if they're coming out on HBO Max, I will check them out now. We got the Tom and Jerry movie, which that trailer, we didn't talk about the trailer, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk about the trailer, but anyway, we got Tom and Jerry. This is what I've been waiting for: Godzilla versus Kong.
We need to talk about that too, actually.
Yeah, there hasn't been a trailer for it, and I need one.
There hasn't.
I need one.
Right.
Because I've been waiting for this. I completely forgot that this movie was even in development because I haven't heard anything about it in so long. Mortal Kombat. So they are rebooting Mortal Kombat. I remember reading casting news about it. I don't know. It feels like 2020 alone already feels like 30 years. But it's been a while since I've heard about it. Forgot it was happening. But if it's coming out in 2021, I'm all for it.
Yep.
Those Who Wish Me Dead. I do not know what that film is.
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah. But another movie that I would be looking forward to, The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. Conjuring, by the way, I don't think we've ever sat down and talked about Conjuring, the Conjuring universe. I actually really like those movies. They're fun.
I've never actually seen it.
Yeah. Oh, we should do it. We should do a Comarack on the first one. I will definitely rewatch it. It's so good.
Yeah.
In the Heights, which
Want to see it.
I do remember that it was supposed to come out like a month ago or something, or it was supposed to come out this year, and they moved it, right?
This summer.
There we go. That was one of the movies that was supposed to that they moved. A classic to be made. We'll see. I don't know. See if it lives up to the hype of the original. Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Nope.
I mean, listen.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Now we don't have to pay money to see it, probably. We can just watch it at home.
So, to be fair, when I say it's gonna be bad, I also mean that Space Jam was also, like, very bad.
Stop talking right now.
Listen, I'm a fan of the movie. I'm allowed to call something bad and still be a fan of it. I'm not saying it's garbage, but it's not the best movie.
Space Jam is a classic.
It's not.
It's and really it deserves to be put on a pedestal.
Over Jurassic Park?
Yes.
No, don't you even dare. See, now that's the blasphemy I'm talking about. Like, I can look at something critically and say something is objectively good, objectively bad, but know in my mind and my heart that it has no bearing on whether or not I enjoy it.
You know what? Listen, you give me Space Jam, I will give you Rampage. Moving on. We also have The Suicide Squad.
I also know that Rampage is really bad.
It's a horrible film.
But I still enjoy it.
Nope, it's a horrible film. The Suicide Squad, excuse me. Reminiscence.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Malignant?
Malignant?
There we go. That's a word. Words are hard. This is a one that I did want to see as well. Dune, obviously. Dune was supposed to come out this month, and then now they pushed it. They pushed it to, what was it? March? Or was it
at this point, I don't even know.
Yeah. Anyway, Many Saints of Newark, King Richard, Cry Macho, and then, of course, the yet completely titled Matrix 4.
Untitled.
Yeah, Untitled Matrix 4. Because who knows if it'll have a subplot like the last two films. That'd be cool if they kind of kept that, or if they just did a completely new thing to say that, hey, this is a separate type of area. I don't know.
What if Matrix 4 is like on a new platform or a new operating system, where like Matrix 1, 2, and 3 happened on a PC platform, and this one will happen on like the Mac platform?
I mean, is it running Big Sur? I hope not, because then it's going to crash all the time.
Ooh, shots fired. Boom, 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 boom.
So those are the handful of films that will be coming out. I don't know. Is that the full slate? Or is that because that feels like so. Yeah, I was about to say that feels like way too little of movies to be the full slate. I think that's just
the highlights.
The highlights, yeah, exactly. So I am excited.
Very excited.
This could potentially be a game changer.
In what way? Please explain.
Yeah, so I mean, if this model proves to go well, like if more people sign up for HBOMax to watch these films, what is the point of going to a theater? Obviously, now for me personally, I love going to the movies, right?
Why do you like going to the movies?
Because I like to experience being in a theater setting. I like to experience the big screen, big silver screen. I like sitting in a little comfy chair with my little popcorn there. I just like the whole experience with the surround sound and everything. Because that's how I've always experienced new films. Whenever, perfect example, Bill and Ted, when we watched it earlier this year, I loved it because I love Bill and Ted. But at the same time, it wasn't the same experience as I was in a theater because I was literally just chilling in my pajamas on my couch, just like all leaned over. And I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying this because obviously I'm home. But I would have liked to see this like on a big screen, you know? I just wanted that experience.
Right.
And I miss that. I miss that right now because there haven't been any movies coming out. I was hoping that I'd be able to do it for Wonder Woman. Obviously, that has changed. Now, Wonder Woman is coming out on HBO Max along with all of these.
And theaters, by the way. And theaters.
Well,
you
no,
can
yes.
watch it in theaters.
It's still coming out in theaters. But then here's the kicker. As much as I love this experience, why would I go out and pay money? I mean, I have AMC stub, so I won't necessarily be paying for it. But why would I go out and pay money to do that when a bunch of us, and we're being safe, social distancing and all that stuff, but I would say like maybe 4 to 5 of our friends can all just be chilling in the living room and just watch the movie?
So, you have very interesting points. And yes, this is a game changer for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
And context is a very important thing that we discuss on the show for reasons. Because if you don't have context, we really don't know why something is here or why something is happening.
Also, it's the name of our show.
It's also the name of the show. So, go branding. However, I've noticed that while this is good, I don't know if we have really the full story. What I'd like to have happen in an ideal situation is this is something that's being done for 2021 to keep life, the industry, business moving. So we don't have to keep pushing things back because the reality is we can't keep pushing things back. We can't.
No, of course.
We've been doing it. Yeah, we not only have to move on, but you get yourself into this funnel because projects are being approved, movies are being developed, movies are being filmed and edited and scored and completely created. But if you don't release them out into the wild, eventually you'll have all of these gems and thinkers and all of these films that are just kind of sitting there. That's not how nature works. Nature works with the flow.
Right.
So if these movies aren't coming into fruition by being released anywhere, whether it's in the theater platform or a streaming platform, we're going to be wasting money.
Right.
So these films are going to need to go out somehow, some way, and it may not be realized in, I guess, the way that they had anticipated or even we anticipated, but the movies have to come out. So what happens to theaters? Now, theaters could be reeling back from this. Theaters may collapse from this. Theaters may also thrive from this. In an ideal situation, I would hope that if Warner Brothers is doing this, they very much need theaters. And when all this is over, because I'm confident that it will be, I'm hoping that they will go back to the way it used to be. Because theaters are a necessary aspect of the movie-going experience. And not for like these old, silly, nostalgic reasons. You were mentioning before Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, I can see that on my television. And I would have no problem watching that. But there is nothing that anybody in the world can tell me that movie wouldn't be infinitely better in a theater-going experience.
Correct.
I neither have the screen, nor do I have the theater system for sound to facilitate watching an experience like that. I want to go to a movie, see Fast and Furious, Godzilla versus Kong. I want to see explosions. I want to see highlights, actions, which can only be provided in the theater experience. So if anybody is telling me like, yep, theaters are going away, I don't know if they're really thinking about the full picture.
I don't know. I hope that I personally hope they don't. But
I hope, and I don't think so.
At the same time, if this does well, like I can see other companies kind of jumping on. At the end of the day, I don't think theaters will go away 100%. But I think what can happen is you kind of get a flip side. So right now you're seeing companies taking their films and putting them on their own streaming services, right? I can honestly see if this does perfectly well and the theater isn't the same as it used to be anymore, but it could turn into something like, oh, we have Disney theaters that will show Disney films in a theater setting. You have Warner Brothers that has theaters that will show Warner Brothers specific films. So the theaters become chains for the actual, distributors.
I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen. In an ideal situation.
So like if you, but like, if you want to still experience the theater setting, you would go to that specific distributor's theater and watch the film there versus watching.
Yeah, but there are things that happen in the theater going experience, because if that were the case, then these companies would have bought the theaters a long time ago and done in-house advertisements.
Well, remember, there was the thing is there was no platform for that before, but now that they're doing this, AMC is like hurting badly. So
Absolutely.
is Regal. So like,
and so are many other theater chains that are much less well known as those.
Right, but I'm just using those two as an example. But the reason that that hasn't happened before is because they were thriving. They were fine. They're not fine anymore.
I really don't think theater chains were ever really thriving.
Well,
for a number of reasons. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into the business model.
This has never happened before, though, right? To the point where they're literally about to close almost.
So here's what I believe should happen in an ideal situation. If it's happening, I'll be thrilled. If it's not happening, putting it out there, I wish they would consider. If they're doing something like this in Warner Brothers, where they're releasing movies at the same time for a month period, I think they should partner up and give a percentage to theaters as a lifeline to keep it open. So if you release Wonder Woman in theaters and you're releasing it on HBOMax, 75% of people are not interested in going to theaters because of safety concerns and all that stuff.
Right.
So they go watch it streaming. A segment of the proceeds will go to theater chains just to keep it open. And it's a temporary deal until things get back to normal. And then once it's over, that stops.
Sure.
And, you could do it for the year. And if for whatever reason, COVID is still a thing, or if it's getting worse, you renew it for another year. Because the movies are still being made. So it's not like you're going to run out of movies.
Right.
Actors need to work. Directors need to make film. Cast and crew needs to continue being part of this business. So I'm glad the movies are being made. I think it would be wise to divvy up the percentage to theaters.
Right.
Just so they can continue to thrive. Now, what does that percentage look like? I have no idea. I'm not a numbers guy, but I do know that it would not be wise to have a Disney theater chain, a Warner Brothers movie chain, because then it's going to be anti-competitive.
Yep.
Because then Disney could say, well, we're going to purchase, 25% and then of theater chains, or create, all these theater chains. And that's going to be competitive, because are they just going to show movies made by them?
Right.
I don't know if that's wise, because, if you have a theater that's owned by Disney and they're only showing Disney films, and I want to watch, Space Jam, for instance, I don't know if that's wise. You can't. I don't know if companies will do that. I don't think that they will do that, because there's a lot of other factors that need to be accounted in for that. Because now it's going to be anti-competitive. Theater chains are going to be spreading out all over the place. If you're going to show, let's say, Tom and Jerry inside of a Disney theater, what's the percentage there? I just think that's just too messy. I think it's clear that movie companies need movie theaters as part of the process. They absolutely provide things that people at home simply just don't have. I love sound systems. I currently don't have one because of my living arrangement. I would love to have one. Love to. But, I want to watch Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2021. I hope it does. I hope the numbers come down. I hope people are healthy. I hope life returns back to normal so I can get to experience that. And there's a lot of other things that happen with a movie-going experience. It's much more memorable. I remember going to see Independence Day in theaters. Again, Is it the best movie in the world? No. But did I enjoy the heck out of it? Absolutely. You know, I remember the popcorn that I ate. I remember who I went with. I remember, before and after. But like Bill and Ted, I couldn't tell you what day I saw it.
No.
Couldn't tell you.
Yep.
Could not tell you.
Yep.
Couldn't tell you what I was wearing. Couldn't tell you, who I talked to before then or after then.
Because it was just another day.
It's just another day. They drop it and you're like, oh, it's out today. Oh, I can't watch it today because I'm busy. I'm tired. Maybe I'll watch it later. Or I'll pause it. That's another thing that you can't do in theaters.
Yeah.
You can't pause it.
No.
And then there's pros and cons. I don't know. I don't know. I really hope theaters come out of this. And if there's anybody that's going to keep the theaters alive, it should be the movie studios.
Sure. I agree. But I don't know. I mean, we don't know, right? Like this could just hopefully be a thing for 2021. We don't know how successful this will be. Although I feel like it'll be pretty successful.
Well, you want it to be successful.
Warner Brothers wants to be successful.
Well, think about it. If Warner Brothers is unsuccessful, then everyone is losing money, right? Sure. Actors and actresses aren't getting paid. Directors aren't being paid. Movies are not going to continue to be made if no one is profiting off of movies. So in order for the industry to stay alive, you got to make money.
Right. I want to know what the increase in subscribers is going to be.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that too.
I think it's going to be massive.
It's going to be massive, but do we really know what subscribers really mean? Like, we know Netflix has the most.
It looks like as of October, they have 38 million subscribers. Okay.
And Disney Plus has 75?
Let's find out. Disney Plus. Disney Plus blows back expectations for its first year with 73.7 million. That was as of November 12th.
Okay, and Netflix has what, 150 million?
Netflix no, that's 2019. Oh no, wait. Okay, 151.
So I was right pretty much on all of the stats. I don't even know why I would know those stats, but I do.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of myself. But okay, so we know subscribers, we know the price, but we don't really know how that money is being divided. We didn't know it before, but subscribers going up is great.
Yeah, for sure.
If you think about it, the price...
I apologize, 158.
158, okay. I'm still in the ballpark.
Yeah.
But the price of a movie ticket is good for the moment. The price of subscribers for the month is good for the month. So... yeah. It's similar in a way, and subscribers going up can only be beneficial. I really hope. I mean, really, like, who's going to support the theater chains? Amazon was in talks to purchasing AMC for a while, but I think that fell through. If there's anybody that can buy a theater chain, it's going to be Amazon.
I mean, listen, can I use Prime to get tickets?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, their business model is also strange. I mean, they have Prime, so you can go to Whole Foods and save a percentage on food that you buy there.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's weird.
It's a weird place to be in, and I think everyone is hoping for 2021 to be here. And I'm like, 2021 is going to be equally as weird.
I was about to say, do you realize that at least the first half of 2021 is just going to be a continuation of right now, right? Like, you do realize this. Just because the clock turns to 2021 doesn't mean it's going to be instantly, like, better. Which is unfortunate, but that's the way life is. But, we'll see what happens with this slate. I'm still excited for it because, we're going to watch Wonder Woman. I'm assuming we're both watching it on HBOMax. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to go to the theater. I planned on it with a few different people, but after hearing this, we're pretty confident we're just going to chill in the living room and make a lot of popcorn at home and watch Wonder Woman from the comfort of our couch. So that's what we're looking forward to from Warner Brothers. However, we have some news on the Sony side of things. Yeah. They're doing their own film.
Oh boy.
They're not doing a slate of films, but they're doing their own film. A film that I think it's been rumored. Well, not rumored, but it's been like tossed around for a while, right? And I feel like we heard about this a while ago. But now we have a face to put with the film, and that film, Jace, is Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
Based on the 1998 video game of the same name by Hideo Kojima.
Yep.
We have Mr. He's everywhere now, I feel. Oscar Isaac.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. Yeah, he's getting work, so listen, good for him. Oscar Isaac is going to be Solid Snake in the film. So we have our Mr. Snake.
I feel like Sony is drunk with power, and they are very slowly building the Sony PlayStation cinematic universe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're doing it, dude. They're doing it.
They're doing it. So currently the films / series that they have going on, we got 2 from Naughty Dog. We got Uncharted, which is finished filming. We have The Last of Us, which will be starting production soon. And then we have casting news for Metal Gear Solid. PlayStation Studios is going all out right now.
Yep.
So I'm going to have a confession, which I think I've said on the show before, but we're going to have the confession over again. I've never played any of the Metal Gear Solids.
Ooh, missing out, dude. That's a great game.
So listen, when I got the PlayStation Classic and when I did a review for it, which you can find on freshgeekcontext.com, by the way, I started playing it. So I started playing it on the PlayStation Classic, and I'm like, these controls are wonky. Because,
those things were back then.
I was, of course they're wonky, 1998. But I only got maybe 20, 25 minutes in. But I was very surprised at how cinematic it was for the first 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, this is actually like if this was, remastered for today, like it would feel like the beginning of Uncharted or something.
Yep.
So I was very surprised about that. And, there's so many games and they're so long.
Yeah.
And it's Hideo Kojima, so I know they're going to be weird.
Yeah.
So there has to be a time where I have no games, like no new games, and I want to start from the beginning and then play them all. I think I want to pick up the collection that came out on PS3, so I can kind of play it slightly remastered with updated visuals. But if not, I can play the originals. I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, what do you think about this? Because you've played them, correct?
I've played some of them. I haven't played all of them. I remember playing part of the original. I think I got stuck somewhere and I never got back to it. But I did play the Metal Gear Solid that came out for PlayStation 2. I finished that game. That game was fun.
Was that Snake Eater?
Nope, it wasn't that. It was Metal Gear Solid 2. There was a sequel. It was called Sons of Liberty.
Correct.
And
Snake Eater, for those not in context, was part 3.
Yes, that was part 3. And in part 3, I don't think I ever got. I think I wanted to, but Metal Gear Solid 2 I did have, and I did very much enjoy that game. It was very challenging. You did have to be stealthy, and the graphics were infinitely better than the one they had for the predecessor.
Sure.
But in my mind, I always thought that Metal Gear Solid was a game that was in the early 90s, but obviously I was wrong. So, yeah, I loved it. It was a great game. As a matter of fact, I think I might just load up my old PlayStation 2 and play it again. But in any case, it's stealth games and ask you to think a little bit differently about how you approach the situation, because when you play a game like Uncharted, you can be stealthy there, but it's not the same. It's really not the same.
Yeah.
So they were fun. They were very enjoyable. I'm surprised they haven't remade them today. It would require a great bit of care and precision, and you want to make sure that you get it right. So
now, when you say remake, you mean like an actual remaster or like rebooting?
Maybe rebooting it. I don't know. I don't really know. I think either way, I would be happy. But recreating the first 3 games would be a massive undertaking.
Sure.
Because I just don't think that there would be some things that would just land well without giving too much away. Because there are some things that happen in the first game that require you to think a little bit outside the box. And I'll just leave it at that.
That's fair. And then for the game side of things, we have not had a Metal Gear game since 2015 when Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, released. I guess you can kind of count Metal Gear Survive in 2018, but who really counts that? So,
and then there's Solid Snake that came out for Super Smash Brothers, and I know you really can't put them in there, but I mean it's a notable addition. It is a notable addition.
Listen, if they make these films and they're successful, and if Nintendo starts making these films and they're successful and they culminate into Super Smash Brothers, the movie, with all the movies coming together Avenger style, I would not be, opposed to any of that.
Okay, first of all, that's never going to happen. Because
you don't know that.
Nope, that's not going to happen. And the reason why. I will make an addendum. I will make a change to my statement as soon as Nintendo decides to make a real Super Mario Brothers movie.
I mean, they're doing animated one.
Whatever.
It doesn't have to be live action. Clearly,
doesn't have to be live action. I don't care if it's live action.
Clearly, movie studios don't care about putting live people next to a cartoon because they keep doing it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So you can have the animated Mario brother next to freaking Oscar Isaac as Solid Snake. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I just
and nobody will bat an eye because it's Super Smash Brothers.
Nobody bats an eye. Yeah. I just I know you did. I know you very well. But in any case, the Mario Brothers that we got with Dennis Hopper, which we are not talking about right now.
Listen, I already told you, episode 101 is going to be Kamarak for Super Smash Brothers.
Nope.
Because you said you wouldn't do it for the first 100. Cool. 101.
Nope.
It's happening.
Nope. You say it's happening.
It's happening.
I say it's not.
It's happening.
I'm excited for it. I like Oscar Isaac. I wish his role was a little bit more well-defined in the Star Wars movies, but we're not going to get into that either.
They fly now.
They fly now.
God, he would have been a good Drake, I feel like, too.
I mean, he dressed up part.
He literally looked like Drake in part 3 in that scene.
Nathan Fillion needs to come into a cameo for Uncharted.
Oh, I would love Nathan Fillion to be a cameo in that. I would love that.
He was robbed.
He's wearing what he wore in like that short film, which is basically Nate's clothes from 4. Like that would
short film is great.
I would love that. Anyway,
yes, I live and breathe.
Oscar Isaac, congratulations. I hope that the film will be good. I'm also hoping because so hold on. I'm reading. This is also from Deadline, by the way. We're getting a lot of things from Deadline because they're very good at their jobs.
Yes.
And so I'm just reading here really quickly to see if PlayStation Studios is also part of it. I would imagine they are if Sony's the one distributing it. My hope is that just like they got Naughty Dog's input for Uncharted and Neil Druckmann's input for The Last of Us, I am hoping that they will get some type of input from Kojima. And here's the thing, you have to make this movie appeal to the normal people. So, I'm sorry, Kojima, I love you. You are a freaking genius. You are an incredible man. But there are some things that you do, dude. It's a little much for the normal person. So, get input from Kojima, yes. Don't get everything from Kojima.
I think it's just interesting because you play games. We know this, with Kingdom Hearts and Tetsuya, Nomura. I think there's just some things that we accept as normal, but when we look at it from like outside perspective and context, I was like, this is pretty weird, actually.
100%. So if they ever do a Kingdom Hearts, show or movie in the future, cool. Talk to Nomura. It's fine. Get input from him. do not get everything because we don't want this movie to be the freaking butterfly effect. We don't want a mind freak going on here. Have like a subtle one, but don't let this be Sixth Sense where, Bruce Willis has been dead the whole time. Just, you don't need that big of a mind effery.
Yeah. Let me tell you, replaying Kingdom Hearts 3 after I played most of the Kingdom Hearts now, I have to say, there was a point in the game when they revealed the new Organization 13, and I said, so exactly how many Xehanorts are there?
13.
There's a lot of Xehanorts. It's basically Voldemort. It's 13. Voldemort. It's Voldemort on, speed.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Instead of Horcruxes, it's just him.
Yeah.
From different time periods.
They basically gave the plot for Star Wars.
Yeah.
The sequel trilogy is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Man, Kojima's weird, Nomura's weird, but they're both geniuses.
They're both geniuses. And we usually are afraid. It's like Elon Musk.
Oh, please stop.
I'm just saying.
Anyway. All right. Moving on. We have some Marvel news because when do we ever not have Marvel news?
When do we not?
We always needed to. I almost brought up Marvel earlier, but then, well, no, I said Avengers style. Never mind. We already brought it up. You know what? This intro has been destroyed. Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop. There we go.
Which we're glad. We're glad.
This was rumored for a while now. She denied it. We were like, "You're lying," and she's Kate Bishop. So it technically hasn't been officially confirmed yet either, mind you.
Oh yeah,
it hasn't been.
She's a stand-in.
Been stated.
Yeah, she's a stand-in.
She's just standing in for the officially. However, there are set photos of her next to Jeremy Renner. So
yeah,
cat's out of the bag.
Is it out of the bag, though?
It is. I mean, what else is she doing there? With a bow and arrow next to Jeremy Renner.
Stand-in.
And a dog. Don't forget the dog.
It's good to see this because we used to have these wonderful announcements from Kevin Feige explaining all the stuff that's going to be happening, but we haven't been really getting that. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of news that has been coming out, and then the news has been, I guess, either recanted or then they start playing coy with it. So we don't really know what's been happening.
Yeah.
Which makes this job really hard because nothing has ever been really confirmed. So Jamie Foxx is playing Electro, then he's like, is he though? We don't really know.
Who knows?
And then Tatiana Maslany was supposed to be playing She-Hulk. But then she said, we don't really know, so we don't.
So now I'm thinking, is she really? And then we're just going to wait for the set photo to come out.
If the set photo comes out, who knows? We don't really know. Tatiana Maslany, that actually could be released, and we may not know until he actually appears on screen.
Yeah, that's true.
When it comes to Haley Steinfeld, I think a lot of whether or not she was actually going to do it was because she was starring and filming in a show, so she had prior engagements that needed to be fulfilled.
Correct.
In the Apple TV Plus series, Dickinson.
Which is actually, by the way, if you guys listening have not checked it out, it's actually a pretty good show.
Great.
I like it.
Yeah. I have not watched it yet, so...
Pretty good.
The
only reason I watched it was because of her. It's pretty good.
She's great.
She's great.
Great actress. She's great. She's great. But I am glad to see these set photos, but we can neither confirm or deny that she's actually on the show.
Yeah. I mean, photos say one thing, but...
the actual release.
Correct.
When she's actually credited at the end of the TV episode, that's when we'll know for sure.
I mean, or a trailer.
or a trailer.
I mean...
But, listen, trailers... No, the trailers actually do change. You remember there was a movie that came out with Kevin Spacey?
That's a different story.
Nope, trailer came out, it was official, and then it was very not official.
That is 100% a completely different scenario.
I was kidding. I know what you're
Don't
talking
even.
about. I was just saying, sometimes the
No.
trailers are not official.
There are jokes that you can make and statements you can make. That's not one of them.
I just made that joke.
Can't do it. Cannot do it.
You just got Kevin Spacey.
Oh God! Don't make that a thing, please.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could take that back.
Don't. Why would you? As you were saying it, you were just like, no.
It escaped from my lips. I was like, I want to take it back.
Like, no. Like, it's too late. My brain has already started the process of saying it. So yes, Haley Steinfeld, Bishop, Kate Bishop, with a
costume
dog.
looks great.
With pizza.
Costume looks great.
It does look great. Really good.
And it's interesting because whenever we talk about set photos, it's usually like 5 to 10 minutes because like we can't really talk more about photos because it's just the photo. So
yeah,
hey.
remember when everyone went crazy over the Batman photos, set photos? Everyone was like, "That looks like crap," and then the trailer came out. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Costume looks great. I'm assuming that it's going to look even better when we actually get some moving images.
Sure.
You know? So stay tuned for more, I guess.
Yeah, once we get an official announcement and or trailer.
Yes. And so there's some other news, and I guess we talk about this on and off, but Disney Plus is a service that Josh and I both have. We love talking about it.
And 73 other million people have as well.
And 70 other, yep, we just learned that. I learned it a little bit before you, but that's fine.
Wow. All right. Jeez.
I'm just saying.
I'm just trying to grow here, and you just diminished it entirely. Thank you. Gosh, just trying to take in knowledge.
I'm not. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
Rude. I don't like
I'm not that rude.
Audience,
anyways,
tweet at Jace Rockland to tell him to stop being mean to me. Anyway.
So Disney Plus has actually removed 2 films. One film, which was only there legitimately for a month, which is Maleficent. It was there
the second
for the month
one
of
or
October. The original one.
Okay.
It was there from October 1st to October 31st, and then it disappeared. There was no announcements. Nobody even realized it was gone until a month later.
I didn't realize.
Because I was looking for it because I had it on my list. I said I can't find it. I went online. I Googled it. Saw it there. Clicked it. Not available in my region. Very upset. Very, very upset. So
this would be the part where I would say we're sponsored by ExpressVPN if we were actually sponsored by them, because then you could watch it.
That's fine. Man, you're just shooting all the shots today, aren't you?
Listen, that means I want to be sponsored. Kind of ExpressVPN. Let's go.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So, in any case, Maleficent has been removed. We have no idea when it's going to come back because Disney Plus doesn't like letting people know that something is leaving, or if it's ever going to come back. We don't actually know.
We don't,
though. We really like context here on the show.
Correct.
We can't stress this enough. Like,
and
if you
and
give
when
us
we
some
don't
context,
get it, we're lost.
We're lost, and this show cannot exist.
Exactly.
So, please, Disney, help us exist.
They technically do help us exist because quite literally 80% of the things we talk about are Disney.
Yeah. And sometimes DC. We hope to get more representation in the future for DC.
Do we have to?
We love you, DC. We love you. So, not only Maleficent has been removed, but also The Wolverine, which was something I was interested in watching. I watched about half of it, and I woke up in the morning. I watched it in theaters, but I was watching it again.
I feel like we talked about that before, pre-FGC podcast.
Yes, in the prehistoric days.
Yeah,
The Wolverine has been removed. I'm pretty sure it's going to another service. Who knows?
What other service?
If you go to I don't know. I mean, it's a Fox movie, so it could potentially go back to HBO.
You mean it's a Disney
maybe
movie?
FX? Yes, but that was 20th Century Fox. So unless they buy the rights completely back, I would really be interested in seeing. It is a Disney movie. That's what I keep trying to tell you. Yes, would be interesting to see if any of the Marvel movies disappear, because I'm pretty sure it would be. Oh, I hope so.
I don't think they will. Those movies, I feel like, are access. I feel like they know what movies are accessed the most, and those are probably at the tippy top. So I doubt they'll go away.
Of like the entire service? Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. Those are definitely at the tippy top.
So, still no word as to whether or not we'll get a rolling calendar as to what's coming and what's going, because we, again, just want to know. And then there's this news, which I know nothing about. So please.
Yes. So, moving on from that, we've talked about games a lot on this show.
Yeah.
And two games that we've talked about, I feel like tremendously as of late, are The Last of Us and Uncharted.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these games were developed by Naughty Dog.
Yep.
So I personally would say Naughty Dog is probably my favorite developer.
Mm-hmm.
I've liked them even before I knew who they really were, because Crash Bandicoot was my first PlayStation title.
Yep.
When it was developed by them.
Mm-hmm.
And Jak and Daxter is quite possibly my favorite franchise of all time in terms of gaming. And I've just pretty much followed them and will follow them no matter what they make at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But Evan Wells, who is the president of Naughty Dog currently, made an announcement this week that he will be joined by Neil Druckmann, his co-president. So Neil Druckmann has been promoted to co-president of Naughty Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Druckmann is responsible for, of course, being creative director on The Last of Us Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was co-director on Uncharted 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, story development, and I want to say also creative director on Last of Us Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So he has arguably made 3 of Naughty Dog's best games critically, and I think what's the other word? Not critically, but
Acclaimed?
I guess, yeah.
Maybe.
But like by the masses, by people, by everyone.
Widely received?
There you go. That's the word, I guess. I don't know. We're going to use that because I can't think of the other one. Yes, it was very well received by everybody, essentially. So he's responsible for some pretty heavy things over there at Naughty Dog. And now that he's co-president, that is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope that that he'll shape Naughty Dog going forward. I know a lot of people don't like him, though. Like, especially after The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, my gosh.
So, I don't know how that will affect things. I don't think it'll affect them much. I think
it's temporary.
Yeah, I think if you didn't like The Last of Us 2, that's fine. You don't have to like The Last of Us 2. But you can't ignore how big of an impact that game had on the gaming world.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like it or not, it had a huge impact.
Yep.
So much so that the Video Games Awards are happening as of this recording next week.
Mm-hmm.
I think Last of Us Part 2 is nominated in almost every single category.
Yeah.
The only one it's not nominated in are things for like indie titles.
I mean, it's a fantastic game. A lot of people, we could talk about spoilers, right? We can talk about that?
It's been, Last of Us came out in what, June? We're fine.
June? Yeah, I think so.
So
Joel's passing was upsetting. I don't think I had the reaction that a lot of other people had. Now, I'm not saying I don't love Joel. I knew how Last of Us ended. And I know that it's a post-apocalyptic survival, game. So there would be really no reason for them to keep him. Like, I understand the desire, and I understand the relationship that many people have towards Joel as just users, but when he died, yeah, I was upset, but I wasn't like threatening the company because they did that. Like, I don't know, like what? It's almost like if I'm watching The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The idea that the main character survived as long as he did is just almost like a farce, because while I understand it, and I understand how contracts work, and I understand how acting gigs and TV shows are produced and canceled, it was just bizarre how he would just survive to the next season. It didn't make sense. It really didn't make sense.
Didn't Rick die in the comic too?
I believe he did. I can't tell you for sure because I haven't read it, but we can't keep things because they're convenient. In when you have, these comic book stories where characters die and they come back, that makes a little bit more sense how somebody could just stick around. And maybe the act of dying doesn't have that much of a consequence, which makes it all the more profound in these cinematic movies because, they're real people. So obviously we can't keep recasting them because number one, they're going to get tired. Number two, they might die, which is something we're currently dealing with a topic where we may talk about in a few minutes. But, we kind of have to move on. And so that changes the way that we tell these stories and how we look to view these stories. So, needless to say, I thought it was a very bold move when they decided to kill off Joel.
Yeah.
Very bold move. But I was also, in a way, expecting it because when he lied, I was like, he's going to go. He's going to go.
Yeah.
He's going to either be very much injured or very much dead. Either one of those two. I had no expectations for him to make it to the end of that game.
Yeah.
The only part where they surprised me was how fast they did it.
Yeah.
That was I was like, whoa, bold. First, 15 minutes of the game. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then we spent many hours playing a totally different person, which was challenging.
You're still caught up on that?
It's challenging.
I played through the game twice now, and the first time I was like, the second time I was like, all right, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, how else are you going to do it? How else would you possibly do it? Yeah. I think I had mentioned before, I was like, if they did it day by day, you do one character, and then you do the other character, and the next day you do one character and the other character.
I feel like it wouldn't have been as impactful.
You're right. So that's the only story that I imagine that they could have told. And while I'm pretty sure many people internally said, I don't know, that's not going to be received very well, they probably were right. But it worked.
Worked, yeah.
Absolutely worked. So I don't know. Where do we go from here?
I don't know. So there has been rumors of... so I have a... this is an old book now at this point. But I have a book called The Art of Naughty Dog. This book originally came out, I think, right after... No, it's a little bit before The Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might have been after Last of Us. I can't remember. The book's in my bookshelf. But there's teases for the next game and stuff like that on there. I want to say it was probably Last of Us 2. But essentially... that book had concept art for games that were canceled. One of which was Jack 4, where they tried to go a more realistic route.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look the greatest. So I'm kind of glad they didn't do that.
Yeah,
but there was also talk of a space epic that they might do.
Uncharted 5?
Maybe in space. God, I mean that is truly an uncharted area.
Yeah.
And then also there was talks that maybe one day they might do a first-person style game. So
I would hate it.
We'll see. So I don't know where Naughty Dog goes from here. I'm sure they're definitely already working on whatever they're working on next.
Yep.
But at this point, I've been following Naughty Dog for this long. I'm on the ride until they're done, which I don't think they're going to be done anytime soon.
No.
So I am with them to the end of the line. And yes, that is
another Marvel reference. So, yeah. We don't have that many topics left. There's actually these two other little things. Investors Day for Disney is actually coming up pretty soon. I'm actually really excited because I'm really curious to see where Disney is going from here. They are our talking points and things that I consume and things that I would eventually like to become a part of. However, this is interesting because the rumor is that Disney Plus and Hulu may be merging. Now, I think in theory, I think this is a great idea. Although there are some fundamentals that are just going to be challenging, primarily about how it was initially marketed and how it was initially received. So, Disney Plus, when it came out, was initially received as a family-oriented application. This came out a little over a year ago. It was this new service that Disney was touting for. Honestly, I felt like months. And after the purchase of 20th Century Fox, it became clear that that's really what they wanted to do, just really bolster their streaming services and titles and intellectual properties.
Sure.
So now that it's here, a year later, we are now in ending of 2020. We're in the middle of a pandemic, which is changing how we do things. So it has been stated multiple times that Disney is interested in putting streaming first, which makes sense.
Of course.
So if they're talking about streaming services, we also have to take a look at Hulu. Now, Hulu is just very interesting because it is primarily owned by Disney. They did own a significant share of Hulu. So did 20th Century Fox. When Disney purchased 20th Century Fox, they became the commanding shareholder. So I believe NBC Universal actually sold their share. So essentially, for all intents and purposes, Hulu is now owned by Disney.
Pretty much.
So if it's owned by Disney, they now have these two services, and one is way more attractive than the other. However, one has more functionality over the other. Hulu does offer ad services. They do offer ad-free services, and they also offer a live TV service.
Yep.
They also have way more originals, way more comprehensive programming, as well as adult titles. Now, when I say adult titles, I don't mean explicit. I'm just talking about anything above PG-13.
Of course.
So if they're going to be merging, the question is, what happens? Are we just putting everything on Hulu right over to Disney Plus? That'd be easier to manage. Definitely going to be some layoffs because there's a lot of people at Hulu that have been running that service for years. And then I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of different like streaming rights that are just not going to be able to translate very well. So who knows? You might have a Hulu hub inside of it. I know they're probably going to be adding like, an adult section that has to be password protected or PIN controlled. Who knows? But I'm a big fan of consolidation. A big fan. So if it makes life easier, wonderful. Do it. I'm very much interested in this.
For sure. I mean, I would be interested too. And then also, if they do decide to merge them, and I only have to pay one fee to get both, or even a reduced fee to have both, and to keep my ad free because that's what I pay for Hulu now, do it. I would gladly accept. For sure.
Yeah. I'm interested in it. I really am. I just actually signed up for Hulu because they had a Black Friday deal that I couldn't just say no to. So I'm actually in the process of watching Animaniacs the reboot, and it is phenomenal.
Oh, that's
it's not the same, but it's also phenomenal. And yeah, who knows? I mean, at this time next year, whatever episode that we're on, I'm pretty sure we're going to realize like how wrong we were on this or how right we were on this. I think if you do enough episodes, you'll eventually guess right.
Right. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. And then there's our last topic.
Correct.
Talking about right. Let's...
See?
I did it. I'm
proud of you.
Thank you so much.
You're growing up.
I know. There's Letitia Wright. And Letitia Wright, she's... embroiled in what they call a scandal because she was very active on Twitter very recently, and she has been reported to have liked some anti-vaxxer videos concerning the coronavirus, which is currently sweeping the world right now, as well as liking some very peculiar tweets. One of them being specifically liking a tweet asking for Black Panther 2 to be canceled. Now, I just want to be very clear. I feel like I'm tech savvy. You are as well.
Sometimes.
Sometimes we're very good at it. Sometimes we just care less. I could care less. Maybe I think you might be more into it than I am.
Sometimes.
But in any case, there are certain things in social media that just simply don't translate well. One of those things being sarcasm. sarcasm in person doesn't even work. Unless, of course, you've established a relationship. So if I'm talking to you, Josh,
Yep.
and I'm being sarcastic,
Sure.
here's a whole history of context context you would have in order for you to determine whether or not I was actually being sarcastic. And even then,
Correct.
in that moment, you would have to double check. I was like, is he being sarcastic? I don't know. Let me ask.
Hey,
But
Jace,
yes,
are you being sarcastic?
no.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great. So when it comes to Twitter and it comes to Facebook, when it comes to just interacting with any type of text-based format for social media, there are certain things that could be said that can be very easily misconstrued simply because you don't have the proper context.
Sure.
Same thing happens over text messages. So I don't know. The idea of liking a tweet that is calling for the cancellation of Black Panther 2, like if that was the tweet and she liked it, I don't know if I would necessarily read too much into that. I mean, you could be scrolling in the middle of the night and dozing off and just absolutely just tap the heart and like a tweet by accident.
Yep.
Is that a declaration as to how she really feels? I really don't think so. You know, anti-vaxxers, I'm not a big fan of that idea. I think vaccinations are important.
I agree.
Totally get vaccinated. You should totally get vaccinated.
Please do.
And if you believe that vaccinations are somehow intrinsically dangerous, that's fine. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't have that, but like, what else could you provide to me besides a Facebook video?
Correct.
Because I feel like a lot of these things, and again, I could be wrong. This is just what I'm seeing because I have read into this. You know, I think it's understandable that somebody wouldn't necessarily trust vaccinations. I get it. But like, where are you getting your information from?
Facebook.
I think it's important. Yeah, not Facebook. Facebook is not good for you. Just stay away from Facebook.
It's not.
But unfortunately, we are on Facebook. I think we're on Facebook, right?
I mean, I have it.
No. I'm talking about the website.
Oh, yeah, we're there.
Yeah,
but
we're there.
You know, it's just there. I don't update it as much as I do the Instagram or the Twitter feeds. So,
in any case, people have been responding very, I guess, candidly to her claims and her opinions. And there's really no place for open dialogue, even though Twitter states that that's where the open dialogue happens. Sure. If you currently look for her Twitter handle, you will not find her because I'm not sure. It's just you can't find her. Let's just put it that way.
That's fair.
We'll not be able to find her. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening.
That is a thing.
So, yeah. It's news. It's weird news. I don't just really know. Is there consequence to this? I don't know what's happening with Black Panther 2 right now.
Does anybody know?
I don't think. I mean, we just found out maybe Haley Steinfeld is Kate Bishop.
What does that have to do with Black Panther?
Marvel.
Yeah, but like that's anyway.
Everything's under wraps, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is under wraps.
Everything is under that 1998 Disney Channel original movie under wraps. Got it. That is a very obscure reference if you know it.
That's so obscure. You were super reaching.
Listen, that movie is fantastic.
It is.
And
it's also old.
It is very old.
Also old. Just saying.
Listen, stop saying that because then that makes me old.
No, it's not. You're old. It's old.
Yeah, but I was 8 when it came out.
Yeah. What happens when the years keep on rolling by, buddy?
Stop it.
So I think that's all we have for this, unless you have something else to add.
I was never good with math. I don't know if I want to add anything. Or subtract, or multiply, or divide.
Yikes. Is that all the math that you know? Just those 4?
Algebra, a squared, b squared, c squared.
Calculus. 0. You plus me equals us.
Cosine, tangent.
Cosine, yeah. You are going on a tangent right now.
I am going on a tangent. See? That's what you need to do. Look at that. That was perfect. That was great. I like that one.
Thanks. You teach me so well. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll tell you what, if you like what we had to say, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at Jace Rockland. And Josh?
I am at JCA90. You can also find us over on Twitter at FGC Podcast, on Instagram as FGC Podcast, or email us at freshgeekcontext@gmail.com.
You can also visit our website at freshgeekcontext.com for written articles, galleries, and videos, as well as Spreaker.com. Just search for Fresh Geek Context there, or on any streaming platform of your choice. It goes a long way for us to know that you're listening, and share with your friends so that they can be Fresh Geeks too. Until next time.
Everyone, go tell your friends how Die Hard is a Christmas film. Enjoy the Christmas film during the Christmas times. And then watch The Polar Express right after, just because.
Just be careful when you watch this Die Hard Christmas movie, because it's not necessarily something that you want to watch with the kiddies.
I mean,
there you go.
Maybe.
No, just stop it.
I watched The Terminator when I was 3, so listen, I turned out okay.
Very, very privileged. Are you okay though?
It's debatable.
Okay.
Hot chocolate.